Welcome back to Random Dash, where forgotten history and chilling legends meet in the darkest corners of memory. I'm your host, Dash, and tonight we stand on a rocky coastline where the waves crash endlessly against stone, and a lonely lighthouse shines its light through storms, fog, and darkness. But this beacon hides a story, a true disappearance, wrapped in whispers of something that never left. Tonight's tale, the lighthouse that never sleeps. Settle in, listen closely, and don't forget to watch the shore. Lighthouses have always been lonely places, remote, battered by storms, perched between land and sea. One of the strangest mysteries in lighthouse history happened in December 1900 at the Flannan Isles lighthouse, a small beacon on a rocky outcrop off the west coast of Scotland. The lighthouse was built to guide ships away from dangerous cliffs and hidden reefs. It was manned by 3 keepers, Thomas Marshall, James Ducat, and Donald MacArthur. On December 26th, a relief ship arrived to bring supplies. The crew noticed something odd right away. No welcoming lights sweeping across the waves. When they landed, they found the lighthouse door unlocked, the clock stopped, the beds unmade, but no sign of the keepers. Inside the kitchen, meals sat cold on the table. A chair lay overturned. One of the men's oilskins, heavy coats worn against storms, hung neatly on its peg. But outside, fierce winds raged that day. They found the logbook. The last entry spoke of severe storms and strange behavior among the men. One keeper had been unusually quiet. Another had been weeping odd for seasoned lighthouse men. No bodies were ever found. Some say the men were swept out to sea by a freak wave while trying to secure equipment. But others point to something stranger: sudden storms, ghost lights, and eerie shadows seen by passing sailors before the men vanished. And since that day, ships passing the Flannan Isles sometimes report the light shining when no keeper is inside, and voices calling through the fog, a mystery unsolved for more than a century. Now, let's drift deeper into a legend that still haunts lighthouse keepers along lonely coasts. They say some lighthouses hold more than just memories, they hold echoes. In 1987, a young lighthouse volunteer named Emily Harker agreed to spend 2 weeks maintaining a decommissioned lighthouse off the Maine coast. The lighthouse hadn't operated for decades, its light replaced by modern navigation beacons. But the local historical society wanted to restore it, and someone had to stay overnight to catalogue supplies and test the old systems. Emily thought it would be peaceful, long days spent reading, watching the sea, and listening to gulls. But on her first night, the wind howled like a living thing. The beacon's mechanism, long broken, turned on by itself at 2:13 a.m. Casting a single beam into the black water, she chalked it up to old machinery, salt, wind, and rust playing tricks. But every night, the light spun at exactly the same time, 2:13 a.m., and with it came a low knocking sound, somewhere in the walls. At first, Emily thought it was rats, but when she pressed her ear to the cold brick, she heard a voice, muffled, distant, repeating the same words: "Light the way, light the way." One night, she pried open a panel behind the supply closet, where the knocking was loudest. Inside the dark crawl space, she found an old oilskin coat, cracked and stiff with age. Its pocket held a notebook, pages warped, with salt. It was a journal. The final entry read: "If I keep the light burning, they won't come. If I stop, they whisper my name." That night, the light didn't turn on. Emily lay awake, staring at the ceiling as the knocking grew louder. Closer. At 2:13 a.m., the beacon exploded with light, by itself, sweeping across the waves, and the knocking stopped. When the Historical Society arrived, they found the old lamp warm, though the generator had no fuel. Emily never spoke of what she saw, but she left the lighthouse that morning, refusing to return. Sometimes, passing fishermen say they see a figure in the tower window, wearing an old oilskin coat, watching the sea. The light turns, whether powered or not. They call him the keeper in the walls, and say he'll never let the beacon die. So if you're ever on a lonely shore at night, and you see a distant light flicker where no one should be, keep walking. Some things want you to see them, and some lights should never be lit. What is it about lighthouses, beacons of hope in the dark, that draw so many stories of loneliness, madness, and shadows that linger? Did the keepers of the Flannan Isles vanish into the sea? Or did they step through a door we cannot see? Thank you for listening to Random Dash. If tonight's story made you wonder, Leave us a review and share it with someone who loves the edge, where history fades into legend. Next time, we'll explore the hidden tunnels beneath an ancient city, where old maps warn never to knock 3 times. Until then, keep your light burning bright and your doors locked tight. Good night.